Hi there, I'm Ben, an RV technician here at Lichtsinn RV. Today I'm going to show you how to winterize your 24D Winnebago View. It's really easy to do, a couple steps. Couple things you need to see it started are, very first thing you need, RV antifreeze. About 2 gallons of work. So if you have 2 gallons of that, make sure it is RV antifreeze and we're not using automotive antifreeze. It will actually say RV right on the front, so make sure it says that. Next thing we need, screw gun. That's how we get to the bypasses that are inside that I'll show you after a little bit here. Next thing is you're going to want regs. That's to wipe out your sinks, wipe out any mess that you make. We want to make sure that antifreeze is all cleaned up. Other thing is your drinking water filter wrench. So this is for that filter that's under the kitchen sink. We're going to use that when we go inside. That's one of the first steps we're going to do is take that filter off. So make sure you have that with you. Other thing I like to have with me out here is some kind of tote or prop, something to prop that RV antifreeze up so we get full suction out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this tote underneath, take 1 jug of our RV antifreeze, cap off. Here, you're going to have this clear plastic tube that's down in your water compartment here. It does have a white cap on it, so make sure we do take that white cap off. You don't take that cap off, you won't get any suction. So make sure that cap comes off. Put that in the RV antifreeze. Next step you're going to do is way up high in this compartment, there's a pink sticker that says Winterize, and it has a valve. We want to flip that valve to Winterize. So we're going to flip it down to Winterize, and pretty much what that's doing is that is shutting off your freshwater tank and turning on this suction hose. So those are the first couple steps you want to do to winterizing. Now we're going to go inside, and I'm going to show you the rest of the steps inside to get this coach winterized. Okay, now that we're inside, very first step we want to do inside the coach is go to your drinking water filter that's under your kitchen sink. That's where your filter wrench comes in handy. And so we're going to want to take that, we're going to go ahead and put it on the filter. You always want to hold the top of the filter. Then what we're going to do is get it loose. I always like to put some towels underneath in case it's going to drip or anything so it's not getting on the wood. So put some towels under. We're going to take that off. Alright, so we're going to twist that off. More than likely it's going to be full of water. So what we're going to do is dump that water out just in the sink up here. Make sure it's empty. The reason we want to empty this first is because otherwise our RV antifreeze will get in here with the water and dilute it, which actually will be not strong enough and has the potential of freezing. So definitely dump that water out first. And when we're done completely winterizing, we'll want to come back to this point and dump the RV antifreeze out of this too. I have seen these break before being completely full of RV antifreeze, so make sure we dump that out. Okay, the other thing you do, make sure you take your filter out, set that aside. More than likely it's going to be time that you get a new filter anyways, so we either can throw that away or if it's good, store it, but don't put it back in here for the winter. Next thing we want to do is put the filter back on. Give it a little turn, get it tight, doesn't have to be super tight. There's a rubber seal that seals it. Just make sure it's not going to leak on you. All right, after that point, now what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to talk about winterizing the Truma. It's actually really easy, not a lot of steps to doing it. All right, down here in this compartment, there's actually 2 valves. So they give you this panel to come off, which just has 4 screws, there and there. And then they have diagrams of positioning of those valves. So we found out that even if you bypass the Truma, it still back feeds down the circulation line. So what we've done for a long time is we've pumped through the Truma and never had a problem. So only thing you should have to do down here is this gray valve right here. Just don't bypass the water heater. Just at some point, just turn that down to there. Just 3 positions. I mean, turn it to all 3 of them quick, and you should pump all the way through that circulation line and the Truma. After you've done that and all your other winterizing, then we'll go outside and I'll show you how to drain the Truma. So let's go outside right now and I'll show you how to drain it. Okay, now that we're outside, Truma's here on the passenger side. We're going to open that up. Alright, so in the Truma, what we're going to do is we're going to relieve all the pressure here. Pull on that pressure relief valve. Take any pressure off that's in there. If you don't do that, it's actually going to come shooting out at you, so take the pressure off. Close that, push up on the black handle, open it, pull the filter out, and then you can open the pressure relief here to make it drain faster if you want to. On your filter wise, they recommend that you rinse it off with water, clean it. You have the choice if you want to just store it right here or put it back in there. Kind of up to you. We like to store it right here just so anything would flow back into there. It's actually just going to come out. So it's kind of up to you. Other than that, there's really not much to winterizing a Truma besides, you know, making sure we get pumped through the whole thing, do the one valve inside. Other than that, drain it. And that's all there is to winterizing your Truma. So now I'm going to turn the water pump on. And what I like to do is come up to the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, doesn't matter. Just turn the cold on until you get a nice stream of pink coming out. It's going to take a little bit because we do have to fill that canister back up where the drinking water filter was. So it does use a little bit of our RV antifreeze in there. So we'll let it run here. I hear it filling right now. And almost here, almost here. There it is. So now we got a good stream of pink coming out. So now what I'm gonna do is turn this to hot. Now, again on the hot side, I want a nice steady stream coming out. There we got a nice steady stream of pink coming out. We'll shut that off. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go back to the bathroom. So back here in the bathroom, you wanna make sure that we hit the faucet here, cold and hot on both sides. Nice steady stream of pink coming out. Go over to cold. Nice steady stream of pink coming out. And actually right now I'm getting a lot of air, so that actually means our antifreeze jug is empty outside. So now I need to go outside and change that. So I will go outside and change that and we'll get the rest winterized. Okay, now that I've changed the jug outside to our second jug, all right, just make sure that that side's got a nice stream coming through. And let it build up pressure. Get the air out. And there we go. All right, so now we shut that off. When it comes to your toilet, all you have to do is push that foot pedal down. That's on that right side. So push it down until you see a nice steady stream of pink inside the toilet. Same thing with our shower. We want to turn the hot and cold faucet on the shower to make sure we got a nice steady stream of pink coming out of the shower. And that's pretty much it inside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go outside and just do the final steps of winterizing on the outside of the coach. Okay, now that we're back outside, we're coming back to the water compartment. That's where we want to kind of finish up our winterizing. So the next thing we want to make sure we always get, and don't forget this one, a lot of people do forget this one, is your outside shower. So we want to turn on cold, and then we want to turn on hot. Just make sure that gets a nice stream coming out. I always like to let that head drain out so you don't make a mess inside this compartment. Also, down at the bottom of this compartment, you'll see 3 valves. So we have a low point for the hot water. We want to hit that really quick. A low point for the cold water, which is way on the right side. And then at this point is when I open my freshwater tank drain. So we can open that and let your whole freshwater tank drain out. You don't want any water left in there. So let that all drain. All right. Then after that, after we get that drained, then we can put this back. Put that back up there. Okay, and now at this point, what I like to do is I actually like to put pretty much everything back in normal operation. So now I'll actually go up and I'll turn that winterizing valve back to normal operation. Shut your water pump off. We don't need that anymore. And what I like to do is open one of these low point drains just to relieve all the pressure off the system, because we are going to be pulling a filter that's on that Truma over there, and any pressure behind it might push the filter out. So just take the pressure off. Close that. All right. Now at this point, we'll let that drain back into the bucket. Put our cap back on so we're not making a mess in the compartment. Just like that. Also, at this point, pretty much, or when you're done winterizing, don't forget to dump your black tank and gray tank. We definitely want to make sure those are empty. One of our last steps now is actually going to be on the other side of the coach. We're going to go drain the Truma, make sure it's all drained out. So we're gonna come to this side. Okay, now for draining your Truma. It's actually really easy. Couple steps to it. Very first step is you want to pull this pressure relief valve. We want to take any pressure off of it. So as long as there's no water spraying out of there and no pressure coming out, now we can close that back up. This yellow handle is actually our drain. So you're gonna pull up on the black handle up top, that little clip, pull out. Once I push this down, now all the water is gonna drain out of there. We can pull filter out. Just let it drain out. And what we want to do is leave this out for the winter. So it doesn't matter if you put it on the side here, anywhere, store it inside, but we want to leave it out for the winter. So let that drain all the way. Once that drains out, then we can close it without the filter. Just remember to put this back in when you go to use it in the spring, because if you don't, this is actually the seal for it. You're going to have water gushing out here if you don't do that. The other thing you want to make sure you do is go back inside and turn your winterizing valves back to normal operation. That's just so when you come next year, you definitely have water getting to the hot water heater. Other than that, you want to go inside and wipe all your sinks down, make sure all your mess is cleaned up so we're not staining anything. Other than that, it's pretty easy. I mean, there's not a lot to winterizing the coach. Usually, once you get used to it, 20-30 minutes, you can winterize the coach pretty easily. Hopefully this video was helpful. Have a great day.